Hello everyone, this is going to be our first chapter to our mindset channel that we're going to have in Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. So we have a very, very special guest right now. This is Justin. I'm just going to let him introduce himself.
Roger that. What's up? I'm Justin, aka Milan. I am a business owner, CEO, entrepreneur. I have a couple businesses that I'm working on, and I'm very heavily involved in the fitness and health space. But also providing leadership and mindset is important too, to be able to allow growth to happen naturally. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk to you, Wellington, because we've known each other for a while and we've had many conversations that have elevated us. So being here is going to be another elevation that I'm excited about.
Yeah, and that's honestly the goal of this. I know that you mentioned that you're a CEO and owner of companies, right? Or your own businesses. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more of that, if that's okay?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I started out as a personal trainer, got really involved in that. And then after I put in some time and experience and helped change some people, decided it was time for a move. And so I was just thinking of ways of increasing and expanding. And one of them was working for myself and actually starting my own training business just because I've had a lot of experience that not many people know about. Um, and it allowed me to just be able to be in different environments, being challenged in so many ways that has pushed me beyond my limits, which is another reason why I'm currently on this challenge is because I realized that when we're challenged to the max, great things happen. And while great things happen, there's obviously worry and doubt and fear, but it's just we don't give into that. I don't want to give into that. I want to give into God. So it allows me to push even more into what I'm doing. But I branched out into my own personal training business. And I started that this year and it's been growing and I'm excited for who I have on my team and working with me. And while I'm doing this, I'm also expanding into apparel. So I'm currently I'm designing right now an apparel company called Epic Thrash, and ChatGPT actually came up with that name. So I'm super excited too for technology and how we're able to use it nowadays and how it is able to expand us into something even more. Like we could get so much done in so little time nowadays because of technology and AI and things like this. And it's only still the beginning. That's the greatest part. But I want to be in it right now. So I asked ChatGPT to come up with some names. I asked it a couple prompts and it came up with 10 and then Epic Thrash did it sounded nothing like anything I would come up with or name. And I was like, let me sit on that. So I sat on it for like 4 or 5 months, just knowing the name. And then um, I was like, you know what? My business, my online training is going. And now let me start something new, but putting in a little bit at a time. So I'm still at the beginning stages of that, but I think that's it's going to go fast, and I'm excited for that. And I also have a fitness equipment company called Fit Bands, and I sell strength bands. And that started in COVID when the government gave us our first check. And I was like, if I spend this, I would be silly. So I invested it into my own business. And with that, I couldn't even afford to have my own branded, but I was like, I don't need that. Um, I love, there's so much right now. There's so much abundance in the world. All we have to do is just use it. But everybody thinks we need our own. We don't need our own. We just need to use what's there. So I used what was already there. And last year I was able to get my own branded bands now. And now they even started to post videos of me working out with the bands, which is something that's new. So I'm excited for everything that's happening, and I love being in the fitness and health space, and that's where I'm gonna stay and thrive.
Wow, that's great. That's honestly Three businesses I'm aware of. Two, I did see that you posted that about the company that you're trying to make about clothing brand. I gotta say I'm proud of you for that. That's actually a big goal, and I know that you're gonna be able to succeed very well in that.
Oh,
So
thank you. Thank you.
proud of that. I have one question for you. Just to start. You say you started during COVID, right?
Yeah.
What made you have the initiative to start? Did you have any challenges? And what was your background before that?
Before that, so COVID happened in 2020. And I graduated college in 2019 with a bachelor's in kinesiology and emphasis in exercise science, which is underrated. Which is why I know what I know a lot is because college was the most difficult part of my life, more than being in the Navy. Um, because I graduated at 29 years old and I had to go against 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 year olds. And before that, my history on education was not good. So I had a lot of challenges growing up. But after I got the Navy, I went to college and I started reading. I didn't read my first book till I was 24 years old. And it just sparked like light in me. And I just started to get more intrigued into the world and things. And so it allowed me to, um, after I graduated in 2019, I was able to use what I have because in 2017, I became a personal trainer. And then for those years before that, I was working with actually, I get to shout him out, John Penacerera, my mentor who in college who gave me so many opportunities back to back to back and challenged my mind so much. And I realized why I am the way I am today is partly because of him. Because if he didn't, oh, oh, this just popped up. And he came to my class one day. I don't remember the class. Actually, it was management, sports management class. And he said, I'm here if you want to work, if you want to read, if you want to study, if you want to do the grind, that's the people I'm looking for. The people that want to learn, the people that want to grow, the people that want to change. And I was like, oh, that's me. And so I reached out to him and we got in touch. And he was a leader of a couple of different programs at San Francisco State. And he allowed me to be a part of. And then even after I graduated college, he allowed me to train outside. So I did a lot of training in San Francisco, Daly City, where I was traveling to different people's apartments or homes to train them. Um, and then I was going so many places. I was at San Francisco State training the faculty. Oh yeah, during COVID year, I was a teacher for a semester in Ken 100. Hallelujah. In 2020, I also did virtual training. So I was training people also in my garage on Zoom or not. Yeah, it was Zoom. So all of that was before me. And then when COVID hit, we were just stuck. So I like to work. I like to work. Every day I like to work. And so just not doing anything productive was just not my thing. And I was like, you know what? I need to learn something. And then when I found out that they were coming out with the checks, I was like, what can I do with that? And then I had no business background. I mean, I have business background, but I always wanted to be a leader, or not a leader, but like I always wanted to be a part of something great. When I was 10 years old, I had my first business actually. I had a typewriter and I typed J&D Lawnmower and Service and I passed it out in the neighborhood. And this was in 2000, the year 2000. Passed it out to the neighborhood and we're just walking my lawnmower around the neighborhood. And actually, we had some pretty good business then. And ever since then, I've always had this mindset, but I never took action after that. And so I was like, you know what? It's time to start learning that aspect. And that was just the beginning of putting everything together, me learning, me reading, me understanding, and being able to put all of that into something that's going to lead me to another place because my family, we don't come from really, I'm saying nothing. We have nothing to our name, and it's not okay to me with me. And so everything I'm doing is for my family and even for the family I don't have, children and grandchildren, um, because we have this life, we have this time, and it really matters. Legacy matters. Who you are matters. What you leave behind matters. And so I was like, you know what? It's time to take that next step. And that allowed me to launch that. So it was challenges behind me, but I was tired of the challenges. So I used that to help lead me forward.
Right? That sounds honestly like a long, long road that you had in order for you to actually accomplish what you have and where you are right now. I have a key that you pointed out, and it was your legacy almost at the end. I know legacy was something really important back in the day, especially ones like when you were in a small town, the legacy was all you had. The way the people saw you, it was as a family, not really as an individual, right? So you did mention that about legacy. Do you think that people changed their mindset about legacy in this current days? Or do you think it's the same way as it was seen a couple years back?
I would say it definitely changed because of technology. And it changed because I would say nowadays it seems there's a lot of self, and I would say that that's how I was. I wanted to succeed for myself. I wanted to go. I was just tired of the problems, tired of the pain, and I wanted everything. But it wasn't until I got educated and been around family and relationships with exes that I realized actually I don't want to do this alone. And so now everything I do, it's I want to do with somebody. Like I look for those people that are want to go in the same direction as me, which is why I moved to Texas because I truly needed to be surrounded by those people and by that to be able to succeed. You know, product of our environment. I needed to thrive. I was just like I wasn't thriving. I mean, I was thriving in the best way I can because I could, but I knew to go beyond that, I had to get into a better situation. So legacy is different nowadays, and I think we're birthing actually people who actually really want to do legacy because we realized over this past 23 years of technology that we actually can do a lot of great things, actually. We don't have to, you know, we had to go through these phases. And so now we're birthing a new generation that I believe will lead to stating a legacy again. But it's going to just take time and work and effort, and uh, it matters. It matters.
I honestly agree with you when it comes to matter, but you do mention it's gonna take some work and effort. Now, in your honest opinion, so do you think that this new generation and new people, not we're not talking about the people coming up or the people trying to grow, if not the new generation as a whole, do you think they have the work ethic and the effort that it takes to actually build up the legacy? Or do you think that's getting lost little by little in the ways that the world is changing?
Believe that we are finding a new work ethic because we don't do what our grandparents did, not at all. We like majority of us is sitting, and we look at it as like a negative thing, but um, that's where it's leading us. So, and everybody's okay, so it's okay. We have to change how we are now, and now we have more freedom. So we have more freedom to do like hikes and go to the gym for 2 hours, drive places. So we're saving a lot of time in this space. So by them developing a new work ethic, it's going to come because look, we're scrolling on social media all day. Some people look at that problem. Some people look at that not a problem. I see both sides, but I'm not focusing on both sides. I'm focusing on the solution or the good side, and like our lives are going to be so simple and easy. And I even believe in 20, less than 20 years, we're all going to be, there's going to be so many millionaires in the world. Like it's going to be normal to be, at least in America, it's going to be normal to be a millionaire. And that's why I'm working like I am, is because why am I not a millionaire? Not for the money, but for what the resources and what I can do. So, and that's why I'm so grateful too for technologies, because while I'm looking for people, I don't have to wait for people. Like everything I've done, I don't want to like I no. Obviously, there's people along the way that's helped, but I never waited. I never waited for somebody or something. It's just once I realized, okay, this is what I want, I start walking in that direction, and this is where it led. Like Epic Thrash was Fit with Apparel for a long time, but when I started designing Fit with Apparel, it didn't look like it sounded, and I was like, there needs to be another name in order for this to survive. So I was like, what's something that's catchy? And Epic Thrash came up, and it's putting pieces together slowly, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So new work ethic.
Okay. And I actually like that. So I like the way that you basically just put us a new way of adaptation and freedom that we have now.
We're humans. We're humans. A lot of people forget that we're humans and we can adapt anytime. Even our taste buds, it can adapt. You just taste it over time. It's okay. It's okay. You don't like coffee, but if you should drink coffee, it's okay.
Exactly. Something else that you did mention was that you moved to Texas recently. I bet that was not just something easy. I bet it wasn't a decision that you took overnight. So, if you don't mind just telling us a little bit more about that, telling us what exactly went through your mind when you said Texas. Why Texas out of every place in the world? I know you did mention about connections, but there's other places. And what challenges did you face along the way of trying to move? And yeah, how did you end up doing
Faith.
it?
Faith. So this really development of listening over time and understanding direction, because nobody really knows what to do. Who knows what to do? Nobody. But if we look at life and we look at patterns, it will guide us. And if we are bold enough to step forward, like I have a faith. Oh, I have a. It's going to be on a apparel one day. Is your faith should always lose. Fear loses. Like if once I'm afraid of something, that's my cue to go forward because that's a lie. I'm not believing. So once I'm scared of it, I'm pursuing hard, and that's something that we have to get is we don't. Everything doesn't have to be great. Everything doesn't have to be good. Uh, it shouldn't, because that's where we get our strength from. So struggle is your strength. If you're going through something, that moment is the moment to say, get so happy because everything's about to change. So before I was moving to Texas, I was looking for a job online. I was like, where am I gonna work? I had no idea. So I kept looking, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to update my resume. I didn't want to update my resume. And then something happened at my previous job. Unfortunately, that just I'm gonna say it broke my heart. It broke my heart, I'm gonna say. But hallelujah and thank the Lord, because it's only direction. While I knew that, I still wanted to go through it. So everything I feel, if I feel sad or anything, I'm gonna go through it, but I'm gonna innately know, like everything is okay. This is direction, and what's next. So that whole day, I just started getting thoughts of starting my own business, because I was like, I'm not dealing with this no more. I can't, because when you work for money, you do anything. And I can't stand working for people that work for money, because they don't work for purpose. And I want to work for purpose. I want to change people's lives actually. Like, yeah, pay me because I need a life, but that's great. Let's go to work. We got stuff to do. So people matter. to me. And I just wanted to build a people community, even while I'm building this um, apparel company, is because I want to get sponsored, but I'm not waiting on a sponsorship. So while I'm working hard and doing everything I'm supposed to do, and while I'm noticing like things happening in these companies that I think should be greater, I'm going to be building something then that's going to be able to add the greatness, and then I don't have to wait. I'll be my own sponsor, and or I'll be the one to sponsor. Uh, Perfect, perfect. But everything is a challenge. Every challenge is a direction, and that's also why I said say your goals out loud. You say your goals out loud and it don't happen, great. There's something greater out there that why this person didn't work. Great. There's something next. And that's the hard part is because we want to hold on. Thank God he didn't give me the ability to hold on because I would be stuck. And because I'm able to release so easily, I fast track while other people stay in a situation for longer. Um, I'm able to take that moment and yeah, I'm feeling it, but I'm moving on to the next thing simple, easily. Um, but I still have to go through the motions in life. But back on track, Texas, I never thought I would leave Oakland. Um, and when I did, it was maybe around, it was like a week after my birthday too. And I was like, if I would go anywhere, I just felt stuck. And I didn't like it. And I haven't felt it in a long time. And the last time I felt it was before I went to the Navy and before I went to college. So I knew that that was a time to switch. And I listen to myself often and I've made good decisions. And I just look back like, okay, what's next? And I always thought I was going to buy a home in Oakland. I thought I was going to leave Oakland. And the only place I knew was Dallas, Texas, because of Bishop T.D. Jakes and the Potter's House. Ever since COVID happened, I'm gonna confess and say I probably watched every single sermon he's ever done in the past 3 years. So I was like, there, Dallas would be the only place that I would go. Um, and so Dallas would be the only place I go. And once I settled on Dallas, I had to sit on it for a little bit. And then I realized a lot of the people that I'm following is in Texas, Houston, Dallas, Austin. And then I was like, oh, wow. And then I started thinking about my career and what I wanted to do. And I was like, you know what? I really need to make sure that I'm around people that want to be like me, that want to change like me and think like me. And so it like happened so fast where I was just ready to go once I realized like it's time to be in a better environment. And so that's when I started to think about the future. And that's when I started to post those videos of me talking because I was like, okay, if I want to be this person, I have to become this person. I am not this person. So let me start. Um, that's let me start. Now, a lot of people don't want to start bad. That's my greatness is I'm okay not starting good. I'm okay with people telling me something that I don't care to hear until I get to a place like with the designs that I'm making. Like feedback is okay, but I hate it in the beginning because it's like I don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't know. Of course, I'm not gonna be good. Of course, but everything's in the spotlight, and now I'm okay with being in the spotlight and people saying something. Not a lot of people say anything negative, but there's obviously that in the back of the head and back of the mind that somebody might say something. So I was like, let me start becoming this person, and week by week, day by day, but it got better and better and better and better. And I started posting 2 videos a day for, I think it was like 45 days. And I think last Wednesday, no, 2 Wednesdays ago was the last time I posted 2 videos a day. And once I stopped posting 2 videos a day and I was okay with it, I was like, wow, I reached a new pinnacle because I don't have to post two times a day. I had time to post 2 times a day. Now I don't have time to post 2 times a day. But if I do, I will do it again. And so doing all of that and then moving to Texas allowed me not to skip a beat because I came here and I went right in, and it was like it was just normal, it was natural just because of all the time that I did before, and then looking into my future and what I wanted. It just made things better. So the challenges was I didn't have any clients. I started working September 1st, 2023 for myself. Um, so there's no, I don't have an income. I didn't have an income, but the money didn't matter. I didn't care about the money. I didn't want to see the money. I don't need to see the money. I just need to see Christ. That's all I need to see. Um, and so I believed him. And so I said, September 1st, I'm not working for nobody else. And so I started doing the work online. I had no idea, but I thought I knew how to be an online trainer. No. So I started following people that did. And everybody, like, and we have everything we need. We just have to do the work. And not many people are willing to do the work, but I like doing the work. And so I just started following people that were talking how I wanted to talk, giving me advice on things that I wanted. Like if I could have invested in more somebody, I would have, because people reached out to me and they're actually still talking to me right now. And that's why I love people, because um, or at least the people that want to engage and have a conversation actually want to help, they're going to help. And so a couple of people actually been helping me. They obviously want me to work with them, but financially I can't because I can't even pay my rent. And so being on my third month and working for my own, um, I'm still at a financial challenge, but I'm better, way better than I was. So I have the confidence now to know, okay, I can do it. People trusted me. Let's get it going, because if I want to be this person, I have to keep on going. I'm not going back. I'm stepping into a new environment. I need to challenge myself every single day. I don't have to, like, I want to be okay not being okay, but knowing like that's okay. I'm gonna still get stuff done. I'm gonna still do what I gotta do. But the financial burdens will be behind me. There will be a coming where I will never have to worry about money again, where I'm able to take the next step, which is what I want to do, which is why I'm glad you called me, because I have another business I want to start. It's called The Personal Trainer, and it teaches. I want to teach people how to start their online training business or how to be a personal trainer, because we missed that in a day and age where we would care about money. Working at my last job, I didn't like I wasn't getting paid my worth, but the people were there, and that's where my worth comes from, not money. So 3 years it allowed me to impact, I'm gonna say, thousands of people. And now today there are so many people who believe and trust in me because I gave more. When I was there, I was like, okay, I'm worth $1,000 an hour. That's how much I want to charge. It's $1,000 an hour. But I'm getting paid $17 an hour. I'm gonna do it for 17. So, and if any of my clients come in, I'm gonna approach. If I'm gonna go above and beyond for anybody, because if I could do it now while I'm low, when I'm high, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be simple. So with the challenges, with the struggles, I just maneuver. I played it to my favor. I play every challenge to my favor. And when it gets tough, even when I'm in the gym and it gets hard, I'm like, who I want to be? What do I want to do? Do I want to be great? How I talk to you is how I talk to myself. And that's another secret is listen to how people speak to you. How somebody speaks to you, is how they speak to themselves. So sometimes if somebody's rude, don't be rude back. That's just they're rude to themselves. Sometimes they probably talk down to themselves. Um, and that's why it's important just to have positivity and good mindset, just because we should talk to ourselves greatly, uh, just as we talk to other people. So Texas, was a move because there was no other option. Um, and then when their options came available, I narrowed it down and I made a decision. And that's the important thing too, is we got to make decisions. A lot of people want to make a good decision. That's a lie. There is no good decision. Only make a decision. Social media, Netflix, all these options, it messes us up. We don't know that, but it messes us up. So there's one thing that people should know is if when there's a time to make a choice, make it fast. Don't wait on it. Do not wait. The longer you spend up there, so much the time is gonna go by. Just make a decision. If I'm at a restaurant and I see so much on menu, I narrow it down. Okay, I want a burger, bam, that's it. Okay, close.
Hmm.
Netflix, all right. Sci-fi, I don't see anything. Okay, I'm giving myself 30 seconds. If I don't find nothing in 30 seconds, I'm not watching this. Just because we can spend our time on greater things, and greater things I do mean um imagination, visioning, planning, working, um, thinking, not thinking about what I'm gonna do, but our mind is a powerful computer. And if we use it, if we sit in silence and think productively, not like harshly or anything, we can get a lot done. And it matters what we say. So the path kept curving, and now it's fitness, it's business. Like everything that I've wanted, as I said, is happening. And there's about to be this brand new gym with all these people that's about to go in there, and I'm just like, damn, I'm up in there, and like, oh my god, look at me now. But right now, I'm at the bottom. I'm at the bottom. That's the greatest part. Is I'm don't nobody know me. I feel small, I feel weak, but I need all of that to challenge me to become who I'm truly am. So now that I'm planted, I was crowded. Now that I'm planted again, it's time to um, bring forth. You know, so that's what I look forward to because I've already met like so many people already, and I've got so many Instagrams. And networking was something that I wanted to do, and it's effortlessly. But if I didn't do the work beforehand, it wouldn't have been what it was now. Because I would have been needing to do that now. If I would have waited to start my videos till I moved, I wouldn't have done those videos at Alpha Land, or I wouldn't have had the confidence. I wouldn't have known how to speak in front of all these people who look amazing, better than me, who I see and say what's up to. I wouldn't. So once I see it, I do something. So I want to start this clothing company, and I want it to be good, and it's time to take action right away. So use your challenges um, as effective as possible.
Okay. So basically, to get out the main keys, I noticed that you have that was a lot of emotionals when it comes to up and downs. There was the feel to be uncomfortable in order for you to grow, and the feel to be scared. And whenever you were scared, you would just go forward, have faith. Is that
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. So we're talking just about how feeling uncomfortable was what really made you do or feel like you needed to make a change. You started going to a different gym, you mentioned. How was that? So I know you came from a gym which was a whole different demographic compared to a new gym that has a whole different demographic. What tips would you give to someone who's trying to feel comfortable and just approach those type of people?
Oh my God. Bodybuilders are the most nice people in the world. I'm not lying. You will, but real bodybuilders, real bodybuilders, always smiling, laughing, friendly, generous. They will talk to anybody. But in the gym, we're working. So we look intimidating, but it's just focus. Focus matters so much. So if you was on a basketball court with Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, they would be really focused. So if you was in the gym with that with them, it would seem like intimidating. But I'm pretty sure if you go talk to them, they're like pretty nice and friendly. So it would just be go up because once you go up, they'll probably take their earphones out right away and like talk to you and say anything because admiration, like we work so hard. Oh yeah, another thing is, and Kanye West also said it. We all self-conscious. I'm just the first to admit it. We all subconscious. We all got something we worry about. We all got something that we don't like. But I learned once I learned that everybody is self-conscious and everybody's gonna talk about themselves, I was more confident in my own self. And I was like, I'm about to talk to my about myself, knowing like everybody does it. Yeah, I say some things, but I don't stay there. So, but it allows me to push deeper and to be able to um go further because knowing that this is normal. This is normal.
Yeah. So at
So
least
approach,
approach. Just
no
approach.
matter what. Don't believe the feeling. The feeling is a lie. That's why I don't believe in the fear, the scared. Mm-mm. If you say something in your mind of what they might say, that's not them. That's you. That's
Yep.
you.
I like something that you just mentioned right now, feelings. This is something that I really want to talk about in this podcast, especially, and it's feelings. Feelings can be very misinterpreted in many ways in many scenarios. What's your main definition of feelings? Start off with that.
My definition of feelings is emotions that arise, whether happy, sad, mad. It's just the spectrum of the feeling that we get, which is ultimately chemicals in our body that do certain things like cortisol, or if you're afraid, adrenaline system, it heightens. They just do something in the body. Um, we just need to know that feelings are not facts,
Okay.
but they help us. Like if we're out in the middle of the desert stranded and we hear a howl, we will be scared. So that feeling will be accurate. But if I was in my house in Oakland and I was thinking of a tiger coming, that would be different, you know? So, but they would elicit the same feelings. And I'm gonna go deeper. Something you didn't ask is feel what you want. So if you want to be somebody who, if you want you as a successful podcaster to sit in your car and hear or feel your podcasters or who you connected with without them even being there, because we have feelings.
Yeah.
And if we put ourselves in that environment before we put ourselves in the environment, we'll be more able. But feelings aren't facts. They're just chemical reactions in our body that, thank God, because our body, that's why I also fell in love with fitness and health, because our body does everything for us. Like a tree, a car. Well, no, a tree's alive, so it can heal itself. A car, a house, a bowl, nothing can repair. Like our body can repair itself. It gives us everything we need. Um, wow. Wow. I can heal my bone. Wow.
So feelings. So you said the feelings are very, so basically what you're trying to say, feelings can be good, but at the same time, if they're not well recognized, they can also put you as a fact set of what your goal is, right? When it comes
Yeah.
to how did you manage to control those feelings and understand your
One, I haven't.
yeah,
Two, it's just time. Just time. And if we look at our history, it could tell us everything we want to know. Somebody wants to start a business, but they're afraid. If they look back and see that when they was afraid to go to college, when they was afraid to have children or anything, they went through it. Once we realize, like, if we look back a little bit and know, like, everybody's doing exactly what they want. Everybody. Name one person who's not doing anything that they want. Do you know any one person that's not doing anything they want?
oh,
If you don't like the job, you sat there and said, I want to work here. So you're doing what you want. This is me doing what I want, is believing that I don't have to settle on a job I can start my business. So once we realize that we have everything we want and we're right where we want, it's just now taking the next step um, to seeing it through, not trusting that other stuff.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, especially that fact. I feel like feelings can be, like you mentioned, it could be something that, yes, it's gonna be really hard to control, but it is really important to also remember, like you just mentioned, what you have to do and what you want to get out of the end. You do have a purpose, whether you feel sad, angry, mad, depressed that day, you still
Yeah.
know that the purpose is going to be there. So whether you actually go wake up and do it and approach it, that's really up to you. So I really like your definition of feeling. Now with that, I just want to jump into, I would say, the main question of this podcast I want to bring out, and it's what's your definition when it comes to motivation versus having discipline?
Motivation is external, and you need motivation. You need motivation. So some people have motivational music when they wake up. Some people, where's my headphones? I need my headphones or I cannot work out. Literally, people will drive miles to go back home. A disciplined person would say, I want my earphones, but I don't need my earphones. I'm about to take my butt over there. A disciplined person would say, I'm not pressing that snooze, but the disciplined person knows what they want to achieve. Motivational person knows that look, having a good body brings good stuff. So they're looking on the outside of having a good body, which brings all this pleasure. So when you motivated, it's not always internal. It can be internal, and you might need some motivation, but I always say get past motivation to dedication. Um, Once you to start an engine, you got to turn the key. You got to motivate the engine to start. Once it starts, you don't need to do anything else. So it's disciplined. It knows what it's supposed to do. So once you start that key, get that motivation, push past that to discipline, and you got to go deeper into knowing why you're doing what you're doing.
Right? So you think both are equally as important. One is just a starter, and the other one should be the one that keeps you running, like gasoline in this example, the car.
Yeah, I need motivation. What do I need motivation for right now? All right, I might even not be a good example because
That's
I like
okay.
everything I'm doing. But some people might be motivated to start working out, but they're disciplined in their finances. Oh, motivation. I need motivation to improve my finances, I would say, budgeting, taking care of the little details. Until then, eventually I'll be disciplined. But right now, I just need like that spark is going to help channel the discipline. So start with motivation and then go into discipline.
Okay. I think think that's a really good point of view seeing it. I do see different point of views when it comes to that, and that's why I want to make it the main question of this podcast because I know everyone, especially including myself, I do have a whole different point of view.
Yeah.
But you did mention sooner in the podcast faith was something that helped you. If it's not too deep to go into, I want you to kind of explain when it comes to your faith and how is that something that helps you and can help everyone as well just keep going and keep achieving their goals.
The first thing I do is live by the Bible, live by Christ. Um, Before Christ, I felt lost. I didn't know anything about Christ before 2017. I didn't even know what Easter meant. Okay. I just knew people talked about Jesus. I knew him. I never disrespected him, but I was just like, I don't know. I went to college, things happened, and then I found Jesus. Jesus found me. No, he found me. He came for me. He came for me. That's a story in itself. But once I started reading and getting understanding from a really great friend of mine, I was like, oh, this is what I'm missing. But a key principle of New Testament living versus Old Testament living, hallelujah, is faith. We have it easy now in life because Jesus died. I'm grateful that I'm born now versus then, because we don't have to live like that anymore. We just have to have faith in Christ. That's it. If somebody can just go away and bet faith in Christ, faith in Christ, faith in Christ, they're going to thrive so well in life. Because once God realizes you put your faith in His Son and you believe in God, that you're speak. But faith, Hebrews 11:1, faith is a substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. So faith is the substance of what you hope for. I hope that Epic Thrash is a thriving apparel business that's going to do so well in the fitness community that everybody's going to look at it differently, and they're going to see fitness in a new light that's going to spark another way of training, or not training, of apparel. And so I want to change the whole game on Epic Thrash. My faith is that substance. I believe that it will happen. So faith is the substance. So I have the substance that is going to do that. Once you have faith, you just need that to move on to the next moment. A lot of us in this world, and it's supposed to happen like this. If we read the Bible, it's supposed to happen like this. Like everything in the world is happening. Uh, it's just so hard to say. It's supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen. Like Jesus is supposed to die. Like if we look back in history, like all his disciples were stopping it, but that was supposed to happen. Um, is we need to get directed, or when we have faith in something, it allows us to focus on that without having distractions. The world will come by with distractions. So we have like Instagram, Facebook, we have all these apps to distract us for what we really want. But once we remove all that and get single-minded into the faith that we have. So your faith, you have faith that you're going to do well in this podcast, and don't let nothing stop you. There will be something to stop you. You might post it and only get one like, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's a distraction. If you just get clear-minded on if somebody just get clear-minded on what they truly want to accomplish and do and stay in that direction, no matter what, it's going to come to you. We don't need to manifest in Christ. We don't need to say that certain things. We just have to have faith as a mustard seed. And that's why I always wondered why people don't mess with Christ or don't believe in him. Because I'm like, I don't know what else is there. It's like, I don't know what else is there that's greater than this, greater than him, greater than how he is in this world. But this world, so I'm gonna go deeper. Um, Satan is the prince of the air. Did you know that?
Uh,
So things happen. We're driving, somebody cuts us off, somebody says something weird to us. That happens. If we respond versus if we react versus respond, then direction happens. Eventually, like you're still gonna be on course. Everything's supposed to be a learning lesson. But if you know what you want and who you are and have faith in that, you're gonna be okay. But it's a muscle. Faith is a muscle. Faith is also a verb. It's an action word. You have to have faith in works. A lot of people, you can't just have faith without the works. So my faith is that Epic Thrash is going to be a very successful, thriving fitness apparel company. My works is today I posted it. My works is I've already started designing. My works is I've already ordered it. I have no idea how this is all gonna come out. I don't even know who the company that I'm having on their delivery at. I don't need to know that. I didn't know that with Fitbit Bands, and look where Fitbit Bands is now. So this is gonna be greater because I've already stepped into that environment. So if you have faith, and he says it's the size of a mustard seed,
yep.
that's all you need to continue. You don't need to, we don't need to see the whole picture. we can just see an itty bitty bitty. I drove through neighborhoods that I was just astonished. Why did I go through those neighborhoods? I have no idea. But now that I know, now that I know that neighborhoods exist, oh my God. Like it just leads us to greater opportunities. And that's just why I'm grateful. And that's why I want to make the impact I want to impact and the people that I want to change. Like I've already even started looking at my clothes as like I've been to the gym and people I follow, and I'm looking at them and saying, "You're epic thrash. How can I design for you?" Because if I want you to wear it, like the people I'm around, they're go-getters now. Like not that they wasn't before, it was just different levels, and it's okay. We all on different levels. Like there are billionaires and millionaires greater than me. Like I follow all of them, but they don't. I don't need them. I just need me, um, and building for them, and then see them in it and start there. Because if I start from down to up, let's go up. Let's
Exactly.
go.
There
Have
is
faith.
no, yeah, there's nowhere else to go but up. That's the only way, right? So just to bring all of this to just an end, a beginning, technically, bring out the biggest points that you just pointed out, which was to one, as we just talked about, have faith. Two, do not hold on. Three, be able to actually use that fear just to use it as a fuel to go for it. And four, just be able to work for the purpose, be self conscious, know your goals, and also be able to just feel uncomfortable. Am I correct?
Yes.
Right? Well,
Yes. And one more thing, have a generous heart.
hey, I like that right there. Says
Have a
that
generous
humble heart
heart.
is the one that goes the furthest, right?
I say it again.
The humblest heart is the one that goes the furthest, right?
They should. But I will say giving is a big part of me now. And I just want to shout out Jesse because I met Jesse and I saw he had a bag or fanny pack that I liked. And I said, let me have that. And he literally took it off and gave it right there. And I was like, wait, what? He didn't even think. And I was like, oh, I don't want to think behind it. And so I've been practicing that. And actually, I had a leather vest or leather bag that I had. I modeled for the company in like 2018. And I had it ever since. And I wore it all the time. And I went to church and my first time at the Potter's house, and the guy that was sitting at the table, he's like, I like that bag. And he was like, before you leave, make sure you drop that bag off to me. And I just started laughing. And then I was like, and then that moment came up and I took it off. I took everything out and I said, here. I don't even know, I don't remember the guy's name. I was like, here. I was like, here. And then he was like, and he walked around. He's like, this man just gave me the shirt on his back. And I was like, I'm just grateful. And I started tearing. And then the guy next to me, he was like, this is gonna come back to you a thousandfold. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, wow, like I was expecting that, but that's how I want to live. Is I don't want to have attachment. I want to be able to let go because I have and I get, and we have and we get so much, especially in America. Another thing that motivates me, this is going way past, is I'm not in Gaza or Palestine or Israel or Baghdad. I'm not over there. I'm not in Africa or rural Africa carrying water on my head. I have everything I need. Once I realize I don't need the extra stuff, I just need only what I need. Yeah, my shoes are a little dirty and old, but I want to put all my money into my business before I put it in my shoes. So it's a challenge to living in America because we have this mindset that everything has to be here. But if we live here and then just slowly get our way up and then go out, we'll be okay.
I'm glad you mentioned the point. I'm glad you mentioned your story, especially with the funny facts you just give. That's a really important point. But that last point that you mentioned as well too, because I feel like people care more about the way that they seem wearing luxury, designer, and all of those expensive items more than what they could really just achieve by getting all of the money they're spending into that, into their savings, to their
Yeah,
business, and actually having the money to buy that and 10 times more of that
yeah.
themselves. So that's a really good point that you just brought up. Okay. So is there something else you want to say, Justin? That's it? Well, thank you for coming in. Thank you for being part of this first podcast. And yeah, I will talk to you soon.
Roger that. God is Alpha and Omega. So this is the first.
Yes, sir. Yep.